your money ain't never coming back into your community. And then we say, wow, our community is ugly. Why our community look like this? It look like that because we're giving everybody else money. You know, so I mean, you know, we have to have a real serious conscious revolution to take place within our community in terms of how we deal with one another. You know, a year ago I started a campaign. I keep calling George's name, because that's because he's there. So I started a campaign, and I was saying, spend your dollars at least where you work at. So when we go to all these other places to spend our dollars, I mean, we should at least be, in my opinion, man and woman enough to say, look, I'm spending my dollars with you. I would appreciate you hiring somebody from our community. I mean, that's only right. I'm saying you could not go to another group of people, probably no place in the world, they got the same behavior that the black community have in America. And you know, sometimes people just talking about, man, you know, Baltimore is who? But I'm saying it's not just Baltimore. All across this country, in urban America, the same thing is happening to black people. Now, you know, when Mr. Jolivet was sitting up here talking about the shape we're in, I mean, it's really enough to make you cry. But we don't feel bad about how we spend our money. You know, and that's the thing that get me. I mean, you know, we so easy to just go in other stores and spend our money with people. And then if we have a bad experience with them, then we get mad, we curse when we go back. But when we have a bad experience with a black person, we say, man, I ain't never going to have niggas face. And excuse the language, because I don't like to use the word nigga. But I'm just saying the way it is. You know, we want to condemn the whole race when we have a bad experience with black people. You know, so I'm just saying at some point we just need to say enough is enough and how do we change our situation. Because when we talk about what the young people doing and how bad the young people is, I mean, listen, when we acting out of control and we carelessly spending our money, then why should we think young people should have a different attitude in terms of how they spend their money? And we have to start, you know, we have to start saying the value of our dollar. You know, when Louis talking about we got $49 billion in this here state that we spend per year, then how much of it goes back to us? I'm saying a very small percentage. You know, so it's always, man, like we at each other's throat because everybody just trying to get their little piece and not worry about the next man. So, you know, I'm going to just talk about this. Unity Time radio program, when I started this here show, probably about close to a year ago, but I've only been on WLB since January. But my whole concept was I'm trying to find small black businesses to promote them that nobody else know about. Because ain't nobody going to promote small black businesses. And if they ain't got no dollars, then they can't market themselves. You know, so I purposely try to search out small black business people. Say, hey, come on the show. At no cost. Now, I mean, you know, ideally, of course, you know, you hope that, hey, if they make money, then they would see the need to be a sponsor to you to help you to grow. But I'm saying a lot of us too selfish, sister. I mean, you know, we don't want to share what we have. You know, and I'm saying, you know, when is it going to stop? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how are we going to move forward and how are we going to talk about unity if we don't want to share our resources with one another? You know, so I'm just saying, hey, that's what Bill Goodwin is about. That's what I've been about. You know, I hope that on Tuesdays at 12 o'clock, those who haven't listened to Unity Time, so I'm gonna listen and see what he's saying. Because every week, my message is basically the same. We have to spend with each other, man. You know, we can't keep empowering everybody else. You know, even when they're talking about politicians, sometimes I ran for a couple political officers. Of course, as y'all know, I didn't win, but I ran. But anyway, the point is this. When we're talking about politicians, you hear people crying about what they ain't doing. Man, they could make black people millionaires. Hell, we make millionaires every day. The politicians ain't got to make us millionaires because we're making millionaires every day. And that's why people's running to our community, man, like a gold rush. You know, because they see what we don't see. I mean, you know, all of us in here, I bet we can't name 5 black filling stations in Baltimore. I'm listening. We can't do it. We can't name 10 decent restaurants. But all the money we spend when we go get our dads, we spend it with another group of people. When I get ready to go get my liquor tonight, you have to search around a black person to get your liquor from. I drink a little bit, so, you know, What's that? When we get our chicken box, we run into somebody else getting our chicken boxes. You know, so all our money, basically, we're spending with other people. You know, and money they're taking out of our community, building up their community, educating their children, while our community is looking like this. So I'm saying, so hey, Mr. Jolivet, as you say, I'm going to close with this. But if we want to empower ourselves, we have to start spending with ourselves. And that's why when Lou and Tyree start putting this together, I swear, I said, man, that's a big venture you're taking on. But it was necessary because we need to see the urgency that we're up against. And when we're talking about saving our community or saving the children, we're talking about, I mean, and let me close with this. Me and my wife is educated, been educated for 36 years, retired. You know what her biggest balance is? Because she don't see the urgency in terms of spending our money with black folks. I'm saying, you got to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? How can we expand if we don't spend with ourselves? How could Duffy's ever compete against Olive Gardens, all them places, if we run into the Olive Garden? You know, so I'm saying even those of us who's supposed to be educated, and it's not their fault. I'm not putting my wife out there like that because I love my wife. I mean, she do more for me than anybody else. But I'm saying even those of us who's educated don't see the urgency of us supporting ourselves. So I'm saying we have some serious problems. Now I'm saying if the educators don't see it, how are we going to think the regular brothers and sisters are going to see it? So brothers and sisters, please, I am through. Please, do your best. You know, when you get ready to spend your money, to spend your money with somebody that look like you. Because, you know, not only are you helping that person, that family, then, you know, we always have to look at it that we're really helping ourselves when we spend with ourselves. And we have to really start beating that message as hard as we can, as long as we can, so people can start getting it, man. Because we ain't going to never empower ourselves. And people start talking about, you know, we ran, you know, Baltimore's losing its population. Hey, yeah, not only Baltimore, other folks is taking over the inner cities. You know, and I mean, as we run, not really realizing what's happening, I'm saying we helping people to do it because we giving them all our power. And the only real power we have, in my opinion, is unity in our dollars. Now, you know, I'm not crazy if I do believe in a higher being. You know, and when God decides to do what God's going to do, it's going to happen. But I would ask everybody, don't wait for God. We need to do what we can do ourselves. Because God has gave us the power to do some things ourselves. And maybe that's why sometimes our beating is so hard. Because we're not doing what God put in our hearts to do. So, hey, again, I'm going to just close down with thanking everybody for coming out. Thanking Lou for giving me an opportunity to speak. And thanking those of you who listen to me. And even those of you who may not like me. But I'm telling y'all the truth. We better start spending our money with ourselves.
Amen, brother.